No matter what you're a fan of, Texas has the trip for you. There's the trip to Texas and the trip. Or maybe you're the kind of fan who'd prefer a trip to Texas or a trip. Either way, go to traveltexas.com/getyourOwn for the only trip to Texas that matters. Yours.
Ever thought your luggage could reflect your style? Well, the founders of Toomey did, and that's how Rome Luggage was born. It's where superior construction meets effortless mobility, thanks to the smoothest wheels you'll ever encounter, lightest shells, and watertight zippers. Each piece is handcrafted in the U.S. with an unwavering focus on quality. But the fun doesn't stop there. You get to play designer, choosing colors that resonate with you. Your Rome Luggage becomes your personalized travel statement. And a little insider tip, get yourself 2 or more bags. You'll score a sweet 10% off, no code needed. Just go to roamluggage.com. Are you ready to move your career forward? Make your comeback with Purdue Global and get college credit for your work, school, life, or military experiences. With these credits, you may have already completed up to 75% of your undergraduate degree. You've worked hard to get where you are. It's time to get the recognition you deserve and earn a degree you'll be proud of. One that employers will trust and respect. When you take the next step in your life and career, make it count with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Hi everyone, welcome to Soul Sessions with Amanda Green. I've got an exciting guest today, Morgan Huelsman from The Bobby Bones Show. Welcome, Morgan.
I'm so excited, so anxious. I have so many feelings right now to get started with this.
Good. Anxious, excited is a great state to be in because it means you're ready. You're in that engaged state. Morgan has agreed for me to jump in and do a reading for her, so we'll see what comes through. We'll see what questions come up, and we are open to whatever comes through. You ready?
Yes, we are. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. One of the first things they're showing me about you is that you are very easy to connect with, that you have a certain ease about your disposition. You make other people feel comfortable. But interestingly enough, you are extremely contemplative and thoughtful. You're usually strategizing in your mind. Who do I want to connect with? Who do I want to talk to? Who do I want to go up and interact with? So there's this part of you that is reserved somewhat, yet you have the ability of social eases and social graces. And I know you're a Libra, just like me. We have that grace and ease about us usually. It doesn't mean that we always feel that way on the inside, but usually we project that externally no matter what we're feeling. However, what they're showing me is you are pretty introverted and pretty introspective. You're very analytical. Your mind is always going pretty fast and at the pace where there is this high-level analysis going on. You're very visionary in the way that you think. You're usually 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, and sometimes it can create a bit of impatience with other people. And you're a perfectionist, majorly, and you are your own worst critic. And I don't have to tell you that because they're showing me you when you were a little girl, and it's almost like the organization, like organizing things. Well, I've got it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. And if somebody else isn't jumping up or getting something done fast, you've always just jumped in and taken charge. And you like to figure things out. I mean, that analytical process of yours, you're very tactile. You want to figure things out. You like to put puzzle pieces together. I mean, you're very strategic. Is this making sense?
Yeah, no, these are all very, very particular attributes of mine and that I have had for a long time growing up. Very much a leader. I've always wanted to be a leader. I like leading.
Yeah. And that leadership is beautiful because you're hands-on. You're not one that stands on the sideline and leads. You want to learn something from the inside out or the ground up, meaning if I'm going to, encourage you or direct you to do something, I want to make sure that I know how to do it myself. So you're very technical. And I know that you're the digital director for the Bobby Bones Show, but you've always thought in very technical, linear, functional terms. I mean, there's a precision to you, and there's a beauty that comes with that. And of course, one of our traits as Libras is beauty. And it took me a long time to figure out what beauty means to me. And for me, aesthetics, a lot of times, if I am in a beautiful setting, I feel a sense of ease or comfort. But sometimes formulas for you, when something is strategic, okay, here's the formula, A plus B equals C, here's how I do it, and here's how I teach it. You are also not only a gifted leader, but you're a gifted teacher. And I know your impatience gets in the way sometimes. That's what they're showing me.
Very true.
Okay, so it's like you're a great teacher, you're a great leader, but sometimes delegating delegating is, and relinquishing control, Lord have mercy, relinquishing control, because it's like, well, nobody's going to do it as good as me. I may as well just jump in and do it for myself. It's easier for me to respond to this email than explaining it to someone and having them do it. I mean, and learning sometimes to go ahead and delegate or allow other people to do tasks, even if they don't do them as beautifully or as, with that critical eye of yours. It's about easing up on yourself so you don't feel like there is that pressure and that immensity and intensity to you that sometimes feels unfulfilled. And that is a huge part of this year, is recognizing when you feel fulfilled, and not only just happy or enough or whole, but this sense of, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Oh, I'm safe. Oh, I feel comfortable in my own skin right now. Oh, this relationship is healthy. There's this element of learning to exhale this year and finding freedom. That is probably the biggest opportunity for you this year, is finding fulfillment and feeling a sense of peace, ease, and freedom in that, because you are a satisfaction of a job well done gal. I relate to that 100%, meaning I can be doing the laundry, and there's that element of, okay, all the clothes are folded, everything is put away, all is well in the world. And that creates satisfaction, but I don't always recognize that as, this is fulfilling. It can be a menial task. This year is moving away from doing, getting things done, box checking, achieving, and finding a sense of flow and satisfaction. Does that resonate?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, the thing that definitely stands out is I don't mind delegating, but I definitely have a lot of trust issues that have been built up over the years. And I do not trust in people that, one, they're either going to have my back to do it right, or that I can totally pass it off and it's going to get done. I just have a lot of trust issues in a lot of ways, that professionally and personally. And so 100% with that. I've been in this space in my life. I'm about to turn 30 this year, where I'm like, what's happening? What's next? What am I doing? I always feel like I have to be accomplishing the next best thing. And I've been trying to focus on really like living in the moment and being in the present. But just as how you described to me, it's very difficult for me to do that.
Yeah, to find that happiness now, the joy now, that I'm right where I'm supposed to be now. That is a cornerstone of this year. And this is also a year of decisiveness. It is not a year of hesitation, and you can be a bit indecisive in your analysis, especially with your desires. Not so much if it is mental or critical thinking. You're a beautiful critical thinker, by the way. I mean, you're great on your feet. There's a decisiveness in that, but this is about the decisiveness of excitement, desire. What are you longing for? What do you desire, and where are you willing to take risk? And use your voice, because, and this jumps back a little bit to our Libra energy that you and I share, but also because we are learning through other people. That is one of our greatest lessons as Libras in this lifetime, is what is the other teaching me? What is the other person showing me in my life? But this is a year of, what do I feel? What do I want? What am I excited about? And this is a year of hopefulness, excitement, a little bit of exhilaration and adventure, rather than methodical planning, getting things done in a very orchestrated and even predictable way. I mean, if it's like, throw the word predictable out and shake things up. I mean, it is a year of spontaneity. And you can, and I always tell people this, so when everything is very planned out, spontaneity can come in taking a different route to the grocery store, going to a different grocery store, going to a different coffee shop, just changing up, brushing your teeth with the opposite hand. It can take on, small things that can start repatterning the way that you do things methodically, because you are very organized and you're very routine. You like your routines, so do I. Is that, yes?
I literally am looking at a to-do list that I have sitting
I know that you're a box checker and to-do list, and it's like, okay, what time is this? What do we do here? And then there's that satisfaction in doing the to-do list and checking the stuff off. It's almost like, not throw out your to-do list, but where can you add things in spontaneously in your to-do list today, tomorrow, next week. But I want to go back to the desires, because this element of shifting into your 30s, which 20s are not our 30s. 30s open up a new can of worms in terms of lessons and opportunities and energy. But this is a time of you really claiming what you trust, your gut, your instincts, your truth. Ooh, I'm really excited about that. You know how when we're busy, and we have lots of things going on. And because you are social and engaged, and somebody says, hey, Morgan, can you do this? Do you want to do this on Friday afternoon? And you look at your schedule and you're like, yes, let's do it. Absolutely. That sounds great. And then come Friday afternoon, you're wiped. You're ready to go home. You know what you've got on your agenda for the weekend, and you think, oh gosh, I don't want to go. But knowing you're like, but let me go anyway. I don't want to let anybody down. Let me just go ahead and go. And it's not that you don't have fun when you go, but there's this element of hesitating around that, oh gosh, I'm tired, I want to go home. This is not the year for that. Does that make sense in those small moments of, I said yes in the moment because it felt right, but I get to Friday afternoon and I'm wiped out? Where can you honor your truth? They're being very stern with me about that, by the way.
Well, what's funny is this year for me, I've had so much focused on my professional life, my relationships, that this year I was like, I'm in a place where I am about to turn 30. My resolution was the year of doing, to go out and do things that I wouldn't like if I was just sitting on the couch, because I work so hard and there's so much that goes on in my day-to-day life. I was like, I have to do more with my weekends. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here and I don't feel good when I'm just sitting there, even though I am really tired. And so I constantly have this push and pull happening of, okay, should I do it because I'm going to be mad that I'm sitting here, or do I not do it because I really need rest? There is this constant push and pull happening with me all the time. It never goes away. It's like I can never find that middle balance that's happening. My body is just constantly pulling against itself.
And the fact that you're grappling with this, that this is coming up as I set the intention this year of, this is a year of doing, a year of jumping in, saying yes. You crave your private time. You need regeneration within yourself. Your spiritual abilities to break through to your truth, those aha moments, they come to you when you're by yourself. And you could be making show notes for the show the next morning. You're getting your show notes together, doing your stuff, and all of a sudden you're writing something and you have an insight about a personal relationship, or, oh my gosh, I need to tell them about this because this makes sense now. You need that solitary time because your wisdom shines through when you are by yourself. Not that it doesn't when you're with other people, because you do have that ability, but that solitary time is juicy for you. It is rich and abundant. So that being said, and thank you for sharing that, this is an opportunity to, whatever you decide when you have those moments of saying yes or saying no. And by the way, yes and no are full sentences. Yes, period. No, period.
Definitely
I forget
are.
that. I'm saying that out loud because I forget it all the time too. I'm a justifier, and you are as well. I know that. No, I can't, but I have all these things on. We'll do it next week. I mean, I can just see the way that you operate because it's very, very similar to me. That being said, when you say, gosh, I really am tired on Friday evening, Saturday is full, it's okay for me to go home. Hey, thanks so much for inviting me. I'm going to stay in. I'll take a rain check. Stay in and stay in. And see if you can literally be at home and not guilt trip yourself. Not, oh, I should be out. Oh, I'm bored here. Really figuring out the richness, because you also are a seeker and a searcher at heart. You love to learn. You love to assimilate knowledge. And not only that, probably a big lesson of your soul is not only seeking knowledge, but crystallizing it into wisdom. Meaning, I know this. Ooh, that makes so much sense now. I get it. Eureka. Those moments where you learn something, you're doing it, and then it clicks, where it's a knowing, an innate knowing. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You get that in your personal time. So hello, Libra, find the balance. You get to say yes and no this year. And the doing is also in the downtime. The doing is in the downtime.
So much of my struggle in that, though, is because of that satisfaction that I have when I'm not doing these things. Even if I know what you're talking about. Trust me, there's been times I've been at home on a Friday night and I had all these brilliant ideas, whether it was content.
That's why they're giving me you Friday night at home, and your wisdom and your aha moments and your brilliance coming through. They were making me laugh because I was like, I can see her on a Friday night thinking she is running the world like a genius and getting all jazzed up. And it's Friday night. Go ahead. And I love it. This is what
happens. And then I'll shoot up and I'll create content in my kitchen. I'm like, oh, that was good. Oh, that was great. Yeah. And I know that happens. Yeah. But there's so much of me, again, that is just constantly pulling me and saying, you got to do more. You got to come up with more. You got to keep being more, because if I don't, and I'm too still and I'm too quiet, my body's like, you're not doing enough. We can do more. And it's a good feeling sometimes, right? I feel like I can change the world and I feel like I can do all these really awesome things.
Yeah.
But my body is sitting there saying, I cannot possibly do one more thing or I'm going to crack.
Yeah. Honoring that, being able to channel your genius, let it come through, write your notes, make your notes, and then find this sense of, all of that came through, let me rest now. And find not only satisfaction, but find some kind of thrill out of downtime. And I don't mean you're taking weeks off and nights off at a time or not socializing, because it is imperative, that you are out in the world this year and also in your relationships. And let's talk about that for a minute, because they're talking to me a little bit about love. And you are very particular in who you are. Not a serial dater, they just told me. Is that true? You're not, you are one, like when you know, and you're typically all in, because it's not just you're in. You usually, there is a charisma about somebody. You like intellectual people, by the way. You like someone who is one-to-one, intellectual, likes to talk about things, figure things out. I mean, you really crave that kind of intimacy. But then there's also this fear of, well, what if my person is not out there? What if there isn't somebody who's going to sustainably love me, or that I can really trust, or I can share responsibility with? And because you're so self-reliant, it's, what if there isn't somebody who knows how to just jump in and love on me through my highs and my lows?
You're making me cry, and it's not even intentional. I just am like, yeah, like wholeheartedly. And it's, I'm not crying because this is bad. I'm just crying because that's so real. And that's so much the problem, because I've been in so many bad relationships that I'm just at a point where it's, no, I'm entirely, I used to be like in college a serial dater. That's how I found out the type of guy I wanted.
Yeah.
But now I'm very fiercely loyal to whoever has my back. And so far in every relationship I've been in up until this point, there's been nobody worth putting all of that in. And so it is that question, because like, you do go out on dates and you go and it's crap quality. And you're like, yes, is it really, like, is this even possible?
How do you do right by your kids, yourself, and the earth? It starts from within. Seeds DS-01 is a 2-in-1 probiotic and prebiotic developed to support your gut health, the foundation of well-being. Choosing a probiotic can be overwhelming. Founded by a mom and developed by top probiotic scientists, DS-01 is known for its science and testing to deliver systemic benefits, from healthy regularity to immune and skin health. Seeds capsule and capsule technology is engineered to deliver an estimated 100% of the probiotic starting dose to where they matter most, your colon. There's no refrigeration necessary, and the first month includes a beautiful, refillable glass jar and complimentary vial for on the go. Sustainable, home compostable pouches arrive monthly, so you can refill without the landfill. Find out why Seeds DS-01 is a top choice for notable nutritionists, functional doctors, and the most known names in health and wellness. Visit seed.com/iHeart and use code iHeart to redeem 30% off your first month of Seeds DS-01 Daily Synbiotic. That's seed.com, SEED.com/iHeart with code iHeart. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Love great shopping deals? Then you'll love Wish. And now Wish is even better with flat rate shipping, improved tracking, and faster delivery. With flat rate shipping, all the eligible items in your Wish order now ship for one flat rate of $2.99. Drones, drills, dresses, makeup, mixers, mobile phones. When you place one order, you pay just one flat rate, tracking included. Wish shipping isn't just cheaper either. It's also 26% faster. So what's your holdup? With Wish, you've got crazy low prices, super affordable shipping, and faster delivery. Download the Wish app today.
Let me share a secret about my travel companion. It's from Rome Luggage, a company born from the brilliant minds that created Tumi. Each bag is handcrafted in the U.S. They've got these wheels that glide smoother than anything I've experienced before. Perfect telescoping handles and details where you can actually feel the quality. And guess what? I customized it by choosing my own colors. And now every time I travel, my bag never gets lost in the sea of black bags. The best part? Buy 2 or more bags and get 10% off with no code needed. Rome Luggage. That's ROAM luggage.com.
Thank you for sharing that and being so vulnerable, because you have this beautiful kindness and compassion to you. And another thing they're showing me from your childhood, which I very much relate to, is you love it when other people feel lifted up. And a lot of times where people have fallen short in relationships with you in their part, in their role, is you want to be seen in a way that you feel uplifted, and you always feel like you're the one doing the heavy lifting in the relationship. I'm showing up, I'm motivating, I'm engaging, I'm encouraging, and it doesn't always feel reciprocal, where somebody comes in and just sees you. And also, words of affirmation go a long way with you. Wow, that was really amazing. Or gosh, thank you for doing that, and I didn't even ask. Because you're very thoughtful. When somebody says something, you usually listen and you file that away. You have a beautiful memory, which can also be a pain in the behind, by the way, because forgiving and forgetting and all that stuff. And you carry,
not easy. Yeah.
Not easy for you. I know that. And that is also an exercise for this year, is where do I need to practice forgiveness? And it's really mostly with yourself, because you're so hard on you that it can be suffocating. And I relate to that very well. And it was funny, I was driving this morning and I was actually thinking about forgiveness, and I was thinking about just my part in some things and some stuff I needed to address. And I thought, okay, but I'm also still holding myself hostage. I'm disappointed that I behaved that way, or I said that, or whatever came up. I also am still holding on to where I don't think I behaved appropriately or in a way, in my highest integrity, because I'm human, right? So also forgiving yourself. They're talking about being just gentler with you and kinder to yourself. Does that resonate?
Yes, that is a constant thing that I am working on every day, to be just a little bit gentler. It's hard. Because I do hold myself to a very high standard. I hold the people around me to a high standard, because I think it's really easy to not be a good person. And that high standard that I'm talking about is to just be a genuinely good person. And believe it or not, that's hard to find.
It is hard to find. And, professionally, that's another thing that you are seeking, is integrity right now. I want to be in a job. I want to be in a role. And this has nothing, I'm not calling anything out in the role that you're in now. But what they're showing me is one of the things you crave as far as your professional life is really feeling seen, appreciated, valued, but recognized for what you bring to the table, how you stand out. And I'm not saying you want all eyes on you. That's not what they're showing me, but they're saying there's some shifts that are happening for you and some doors that will open professionally. Have you ever thought about producing?
I really haven't, no.
Okay, they just said to me, and I don't know at what level, but they're talking about a little bit of production and producing, because you are so strategic and you see things with such a keen, very, very discerning eye, that producing and knowing what content is good, what is going to be relevant, what's going to hit home, be the best bang for the buck. Keep your eyes and ears open as far as opportunities that come your way, especially it feels like July's going to be a really busy month for you. Let me just tell you that. But September is a month where some new doors may open, and you may say, well, I don't know that I was interested in that, but I'll give it a go. And remember about being decisive. Even if you think, well, I didn't think about that, but it sounds like a great opportunity. And don't go into, how am I going to make all this work? How am I going to make it happen? I already have enough on my plate, because that's where you go into your, okay, well, how do I fit this into my schedule? Just go to, I'll give it a try. Let's see if we can make it work, because you can always change your mind. That's the other thing about this year and the spontaneity, is flexibility and changing your mind. And just like saying yes to something on a Friday afternoon, and Friday comes around and you're tired, and you do change your mind and your heart a little bit, standing in that and then being at home, but taking some risk in terms of opportunities that come up professionally for you to have some differing roles than you do now. There's some differentiation going on for you over the next year and a half where there will be more roles and they'll be more diversified in terms of your voice and what you do and your talents. I'm not exactly sure how it's coming through, and it's definitely in the broadcasting industry. It's where you are, but there's an upward trajectory coming where there's either a promotion or an opportunity to oversee something, to produce something, to be involved in the production of something and have a voice and a role in it. Know that. And it's exciting because it's like, oh, I'm excited about this. Oh, wow. And your mind gets turning in new ways and differing ways where you feel revitalized. You feel useful, and you like feeling useful. That's another, the satisfaction, it's like the usefulness. Does this make a difference? Am I useful?
Yeah. You know, I'm at a point professionally where I love what I do and I'm really good at it, but I'm always looking to grow. I don't like being stagnant for very long.
Yeah.
And so if I feel like I've hit a plateau, I'm like, okay, time to shift. I need to grow some more. And so I like hearing that in whatever direction that goes. And I've been curious and I've been questioning, like, do I stay in this field? Do I go somewhere different? Because my skills can vary across the board. And so I've definitely been questioning in this past year, just like, okay, you know, for a long time, the job that I'm in right now was the dream job, and I hit it. I got to it. I'm in it. And now it's like, okay, what comes next after this? What does that even look like? So to know that it sounds like I'm still staying in this career path and I'm in this field, that's cool to know, because that's been a question I've been contemplating.
What's interesting about it is it morphs in some beautiful ways, because let me tell you what they're showing me. You are a very gifted teacher and leader. I can see you teaching and coaching, meaning directing. Like, so producing and directing, teaching, coaching, I'm going to use those words. So think about your leadership, think about your voice, think about what you know how to do, and almost guiding. It's almost like guiding and directing other shows in what you do, the ones that aren't quite there yet, or they don't know how to incorporate social media. You have a lot of knowledge. You're good at it. You've figured it out. You've honed in. You're successful. You have a lot to teach, to share in the company that you are in. And there will be a need, and there will be some doors that open up. And here's the deal. It's a faith over fear year, risk and reward year, go with your gut year, listen to the desire and go with that hunch, which means if I say yes to this, what does it mean about my position now? How does that affect my position now? And that's where the fear is going to come in, the safety, the security, you know, having that routine, all of that, the comfort that comes in that. Where do you take risk? And that's going to come up for you this year. And it's also going to come from a space of a little bit of stagnation and boredom, which you're in right now, by the way. And that's going to be reminded for you over and over again this month. You're going to feel like push and pull, stop and start this year. I mean, in this month too, in particular, if you feel like, okay, there's been a lot on my plate, but nothing is happening.
Yes.
It's like both and. I don't know how to explain it, but there's a lot on my plate, but nothing is happening. Does that make sense?
It does. And there is a lot going on. I have a lot of things moving, but it doesn't feel like I'm growing. And that's what I keep questioning. And that's why I'm like, okay, what's next? What's coming? What should I do? This year feels so many questions keep popping up. And it is. There's been moments where I'm like, okay, like, do I just stop everything and just start over somewhere else? Like, and it goes back to the risk part of me that's like, okay, I can't do that. That's not my personality. I can't just quit. That's not who I am as a person. I'm much more of strategic about how I do that. How can I be on my next path before I just say, I'm just going to say no, bye to everything. And
there are doors opening. There's doors opening and conversations that will definitely unfold into July, August, and September. And September is a big leap of faith month. I'm going to just tell you that. Like, September to me feels like a leap of faith month where it's like go big or go home. You know, it really is kind of like, whoa, do I jump off and say yes to this? But you're building. Nothing you've done is in vain. You won't be abandoning anything. You're just growing and catapulting into a new level. And You're so wonderful at relationships. Because another thing about you is you're not a bridge burner. That doesn't feel good to you. It's not in your integrity. So one of the things is there's an organic flow to this, that the requirement from you is when the door opens, I walk through it. And I walk through it and I trust, and I might be a little terrified, but I'm in faith. And know that no bridges will be burned. It will happen organically. You will get to shut some doors in order to fully walk through other doors. It all is a matter of you, first of all, believing that. And secondly, really trusting what comes next, even if it's a little bit unknown, even if it's risk-oriented. But there is an opportunity, and it feels like you will be leading, teaching, directing, producing. There's just an element to where your expertise is in charge, and your voice, and also your the visionary side of you. The other thing is to being mindful of whom you trust, and that already is a challenge for you, figuring out who you trust. So let me just share something with you this year that you can use to begin to evolve that, let's call it. When you go to bed at night, talk to your soul. Just when you're saying your prayers, you're doing your evening thing, once you've stopped making list, it's a good time. Stop your list making, take a few breaths and say, hey, soul, connect me with the ideal people where I feel a trust, a harmony, a balance, a flow. Connect me with people who are supportive in their resources. Show me I'm open, I'm ready. I'm bold, I'm courageous, I'm ready to take a new leap of faith. I'm ready to grow in who I am. Help assimilate the ideal people organically to support that growth. And you don't have to articulate any of that verbatim, but that's your ask to your soul and to God. You say, hey, soul, as I sleep tonight, help me wake up well rested. And while you're doing all this work, in the ethers, in the dream state, assimilate the right people, places around me to support my leap. And show me beyond a shadow of a doubt. So that way you can be decisive. Because that's your key this year is decisiveness. And as far as love goes, they're talking to me about you meeting somebody, but whomever you meet doesn't live in Nashville. Which actually, but listen to this. They're making me laugh a little bit about this because I actually think it's ideal for you for right now because you are so busy that it's like you have to plan to be with somebody, to see somebody, or when they're in town. So it's actually kind of convenient. And I'm not, there's just the way because you're so rational, you're like, well, how would that work? Well, I just know how I can see your mind working. You meet someone who's either in from out of town, or coming through or comes back and forth to Nashville, and whomever it is not planted in Nashville, but goes back and forth. And I tell you what, even though so much of me, Amanda, wants to say, oh, you're right there, because this is where I go. Sometimes I can tell when it's me and not you. But there may be an opportunity for you to move, like for work and life, and it opens some new doors. So I would not be surprised if not only some shifts professionally happen, but a move may happen, like an opportunity to move. Would you be open to that? Where would you want to move if you could move anywhere?
I am open to moving. I never thought it was going to be an option with what I do because so much of what I do is here. And really, like, to kind of go forward, I thought it would really be like California or New York seemed to be like the moving, if I'm moving upward, but I also know all these businesses are changing places and where they're at. So I'm very open to moving. That's not something I'm against, but it's just more of.
There may be, and I can see a West Coast move. If you move, it's a West Coast move. So California, to me, that's where I went first and foremost. They took me west. That's okay. My dog is having a bad dream over here, and she's on the floor, like, having a bad dream, and you've got a barker back there. So.
Remy's helping you. She's making sure she knows I'm listening.
She's saying, yes, exactly. See, she said, I'll go to California. But this is a year of, instead of, because you've been comfortable, even though you've been busy and you've worked hard and you've grown, you're in that comfortable state of where do I start dreaming again? And that's what right now is. It's about dreaming again. It's about getting excited. Hey, I'm open to new ideas and possibilities. Show them to me. I'm ready. I'm open. But it's interesting because it's almost like when everything starts happening, it's all happening. There's love life and professional stuff happening at the same time. So buckle up because the end of this year, the fall and into the end of the year are abundant, we're going to call it, with personal life and making decisions and making big decisions, big life decisions, and they're personal and they're professional. And they're going to bring up fear. I'm just telling you that. I mean, it's just part of change. It's part of growth. But this is about excitement. And this is about trusting. More than anything, trusting your voice, your gut, and your growth. And you're going to land on your 2 feet. You're already going up. You're going to land on your 2 feet. It's just written in your energy field pretty clearly.
Love great shopping deals? Then you'll love Wish. And now Wish is even better with flat rate shipping, improved tracking, and faster delivery. With flat rate shipping, all the eligible items in your Wish order now ship for one flat rate of $2.99. Drones, drills, dresses, makeup, mixers, mobile phones. When you place one order, you pay just one flat rate, tracking included. Wish shipping isn't just cheaper either. It's also 26% faster. So what's your holdup? With Wish, you've got crazy low prices, super affordable shipping, and faster delivery. Download the Wish app today.
Ever thought your luggage could reflect your style? Well, the founders of Toomey did, and that's how Rome Luggage was born. It's where superior construction meets effortless mobility, thanks to the smoothest wheels you'll ever encounter, lightest shells, and watertight zippers. Each piece is handcrafted in the U.S. with an unwavering focus on quality. But the fun doesn't stop there. You get to play designer, choosing colors that resonate with you. Your Rome Luggage becomes your personalized travel statement. And a little insider tip, get yourself 2 or more bags. You'll score a sweet 10% off, no code needed. Just go to roamluggage.com.
You're ready for a comeback. And with Purdue Global, you can do more than take classes. You can take charge of your story, of your career, of your life. Earn a degree you can be proud of and get an education employers respect. It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Is there anything else you want to know about work, or specifically we can talk about love life or anything else in a minute? Well, I think you have a grandmother coming through. I'm sorry I said that, and then immediately when I say that stuff, they come through. You have a deceased grandmother. She all of a sudden was like, I want to talk.
Yes, I did. I lost her a few years ago now.
What is her name?
Grandma Irene.
Irene. Oh my gosh. Did she have I don't know if she has blue eyes, but she has like, her eyes are sparkling to me. Like sometimes it's their cheeks, sometimes it's their eyes. Like they'll catch something. I'm like, her eyes, and there's a sparkle in her eyes. Do you remember her eyes?
You know, I don't, but she did have red hair.
She had red hair. Oh gosh, a fiery one.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Is this your mom's mom?
It's my dad's mom.
It's your dad's mom. Okay, you'll have to ask your dad, because she may have had like blue or green eyes.
I think she did. I just am not sure, so I don't want to say that. But I think she did.
But you'll have to ask. You have to let me know or whatever. But I'm pretty sure she has like blue or green eyes, because she is looking at me and there's a clarity in her eyes. But one of the things that she is showing me for you is she's talking about how sensitive you are, and strong, sensitive and strong. And whenever they say sensitive to me, by the way, it is never disempowering. It means that you're a deep feeler, that you care. You care about other people. You genuinely care. And that is not lost on me. I can see it all over your field. But she's saying she was always a sensitive child, not wanting to let anyone down, wanting to make sure she did everything right, that people were proud of her, that she followed directions. And even though you have this determined soul that is so visionary, it was, I want to make sure everything is okay and buttoned up. And she's saying, you are free. You are loved. You are enough. And she adored you. Where did she live? Where did you grow up, Morgan?
I grew up in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did she live in Kansas?
Yes, she did. She lived there with my grandpa, who we still have.
Okay. Oh, man. Does he miss her?
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
But she shows up. Does he sit out and watch the birds or have a bird feeder? Or I don't know. They're talking about the birds.
They did. They used to when they lived together, and they were very much in love, and they were hilarious together. But he talks about her every day, and he misses her entirely.
She says she is with him all the time, but she shows up in the birds. But like she's saying that he sits it's like, is he still in his home? Did he move to like somewhere else?
He's living with my uncle, but they do actually have birds in the house.
Okay. That's what she's saying, that she shows up in the birds.
Yep.
Like, because I was like, there's birds everywhere.
Well, and I had to think about that for a second because we just moved him recently, and yes, they have birds in the house who they took in from another relative they had, and those birds are there inside the house.
She says, I show up in the birds. I'm watching over him with the birds. And she says she's with him every day. And he really does miss her. I mean, he misses their routines. They just had routines. Mm-hmm. And that's what she says. But she's just smiling because she loves him so much and she's with him. But she wants you to know, first of all, just how beautiful you are as a person, as a human being. But she says that you matter and you make a difference. She says you make other people's lives better. You deserve to have someone in your life that feels like they make you better. And this is not, let me just dial that back for a minute. It's not about getting your value from someone else. We know that is cultivated within. But there's this element of that's what you desire in a partner, in a romantic partner, what they had. That makes sense now. That's why I was like, because right when I was like, we'll talk about relationships, what do you want to know? She came in, and that's what she says is, don't you worry, I will find your person, and your person that finishes your sentences, because she was lucky enough to have that. Not everybody has that.
They were together for decades.
She's funny and she's quick-witted, and she was the boss, and like the boss, because she's like, yeah, he's kind of lost without me. Your grandfather, because she basically just dictated the day in life, and he let her. He loved it. And it's funny because as leadership-oriented as you are, driven, and, have that ability to just stand up and take charge in a relationship, you want somebody who says, this is where we're going for dinner tonight. Hey, I heard you said you want to go on vacation. Can you take these dates off? Somebody who just takes charge and and is kind of like your grandmother, like in your personal life, that's what you crave. And first of all, she's letting you know there is someone, and she is working on orchestrating that. But your role in that right now is getting very clear that you want someone who finishes your sentences, that almost says, let's go do this. And you say, oh, I was just thinking about that. I mean, that's who.
That is what I want.
That's what you want. She's saying, well, I'm working on it. Just believe that they're coming. And it's when you believe that and know that, and also talk to her, and say, hey, Grandma Irene, I'm getting impatient over here. I trust that somebody's coming. But like, when? Show me. I'm open. I'm ready. I'm ready. I really am ready. But she says she's working on it. And she says, don't worry. He'll be very handsome. And he's going to be tall. I know that you're shorter like me. But she said he's going to be taller. And I think he's going to have darker hair, by the way.
Okay.
He's tall and he has darker hair. He's really handsome, too. She says, oh, yeah, he's handsome.
She should also know this is the most important, but do they love animals? Because animals are
100%.
Okay.
100%. And yes, animals, yes. And also, it's funny, and this is very similar to me, and it's interesting. I'm going to see how I can phrase this. I mean, I haven't been able to have children, and my animals are my children. Animals are, like, more important to you. That's really more something that's been important to you than having children. You've never been that person that's like, I have to have children. I mean, there are people that are born that way, and I have lots of friends that way, and I love it. They're amazing moms. I think you'd be an amazing mom. I know I'd be a great mom. But there's something about animals that just is this fit.
Yep. I like to save a lot of animals, so.
I know. Well, and she's saying there will certainly be someone who just has that caring touch in nature, and that'll be a telltale sign. When you have somebody over and just your pets gravitate towards them, or they're just innately kind, or, oh, shouldn't we go walk the dog right now, without you having to say, oh, let me go feed them. I'll feed the dog right now, or somebody who just innately jumps in and does those things. So she is showing me that. Is there anything that you want to know from her?
No, I just want to know that she's okay and she's happy, if that's a possibility.
She is, yes. On the other side, there's just this infinite quality to them where everything expands. Once they let go and step into God's love, the divine love, we see things as they are, and just through this beautiful lens that sometimes we can't see humanly. And she really does look out for your grandfather and will be there with him, but he's going to be around a bit. His health is okay. Like he's definitely getting support from your uncle. That's apparent, but he's going to be around for a little bit, and he's going to find, new ways of being happy, but he's going to be ready to go home to her when it's time.
Yeah, we can feel that, but we're hoping he stays for a while because we miss her a lot.
He's around, and he brings just a lot of, joy, just into your family. You had really good grandparents. They're wonderful grandparents. I can see it. And your grandmother is smiling, but she loves you very much, and she is saying, don't worry, doors are opening for you. You are successful. You are enough just as you are. So that's the big takeaway.
Oh, Grandma, I miss her a lot.
She's cute. She's pretty funny, though.
She is. She's a Spitfire.
And she's busy. She's very much like you. She's very busy. It's like, well, I need to go. I have things to do. It's like she has a grocery list that she's like, I've got to go get the groceries. That's like a whole to-do list that I have to get these things done. It's been nice talking to you girls. Got to go.
Yes, very much
how
so.
She is. Nice talking to you. I love you so much. I've got to go do the groceries.
It
she's
runs
like
in
off
the family.
That's it. That's what she just said. Okay, tell me, what questions do you have? Work, love, anything?
Overarching in the leadership role specifically, maybe, but I've always had this very big feeling that I was going to do something. This is so wild that I even think this, but I've just always had this innate feeling that I could change the world, that I'm going to do something that really matters. Mm-hmm. Does it feel like I'm going in that direction, or is that just my personality that kind of puts that into the world?
No, you're a humanitarian. So that's the way you can start framing that in your heart and in your mind. Not a philanthropist, a humanitarian, meaning whatever I'm doing, I am making the world a better place. I am leaving this place better than I found it. So yes, through your own self-growth, but also I want to make an impact. I want to make a difference. I want to matter. And that's what your grandmother was saying, is you matter. You do make a difference. You are making a difference. Live as if it is that way right now. But yes, and I want to go back to like you coaching or directing. There's some kind of role where you are able to do that with your voice, and your voice is about creating a greater quality of life or making an impact, making a difference in what you do. And that's what opportunities seem to be opening for you in the upcoming months and year, of jobs and professional opportunities where you can use your voice for the betterment of some sort of cause. If you believe in something, say yes to it. And whether it's, working with animals and rescue or some kind of cause that gives back, if you believe in it, you will shine. Because if your heart's not in something, not that you can't do it or follow through, you get stagnant. And you know what stagnation feels like, because I can feel it in your energy field right now. Instead of being afraid of that stagnation, and just like being at home on a Friday night when you know that you're tired and you're worried about not being out in the world and doing, know that that's where your revitalization is, of what do I get to be excited about, and what do I get to say yes to that feels aligned with me today? Not just doing stuff to do it and be engaged, doing it because you're excited to do something, or you're doing things with your time apart from your day-to-day responsibilities, work, and those endeavors. Doing things with your time that feel like a heck yes, or, oh, this matters, or, oh, wow, this felt so good. It's service-oriented. You have a very service-oriented heart, but it's a humanitarian. That's really the essence of what you're feeling deep in your soul, is that kind of energy, a visionary, I want to make a difference. You're not going to be an astronaut at NASA.
No.
We're not, that's not, you're not inventing some new chemical compound that, cures cancer.
No.
However, that being said, and they just laughed at me, your soul did, when I said that, you have such an impacting voice that people believe, because usually your voice really does come from your heart. You have a lot of influence. And that's what you're growing into, is your influential voice, and then being able to use that influencer type, leader-oriented voice behind causes that you believe in.
That's good to hear. I
Yeah.
mean, that's more important to me. As much as I would love to have a partner to share that all with, that's important to me. I just want to make sure I've been given a really awesome platform, and I want to make sure what I continue to do is worth all of that. I don't want it to be empty. I don't want it to just be the space on the internet that holds for all these people. I want it to be important.
Yeah. And it is already, and is growing more, especially the more that you are open to stepping in some new roles, even that may not feel directly connected to that. When these opportunities come, know that they're connected to that, because it's going to anchor in your voice and set you apart in ways where you get some additional things on your resume to give you credentials to be able to champion certain causes and go after projects that you love, build teams that you love. That's another thing to you that hasn't been cultivated in the last few years, is leading a team and creating something that feels very team oriented. And that's very important to you, is wherever you're evolving, that you feel like you are leading and guiding a team, that it takes a village, and seeing everyone's role and worth and abilities, and that you get to be a part of that. So not just about purpose and value and making a difference, but making a difference in the communities, the groups that you're involved in, your leadership skills in that.
Yes, I've definitely been craving that. I love working with people and seeing us all work together. That's a big part of that. That's also just part of when you're single and alone a lot of the time, you definitely crave human connection in that way.
Human connection. Absolutely. I get it. I really appreciate your openness too. Like, your energy field is, you have a beautiful purple light around you. And whenever they show me purple, it's, first of all, there's a leadership quality associated with that, but there's this element of divine leadership, meaning really leading with love. If you love something, and if you are doing it because it feels of service, it feels altruistic. I'm giving this because I can. I'm going above and beyond because I want to, because it makes sense, because why wouldn't I? That's when you're in your sweet spot. And then those Friday afternoons when you're like, I want to say no, that's when you say no, because that's not the sweet spot. That's just the little Morgan in your mind saying, I've got to be out in the world or else I'm going to miss the love of my life. No, your grandmother's got that under control. She's going to plop him in when you least expect it. Were you going to ask me a question?
Yes, that was my last question. Was I'm taking it as I have not met the love of my life. This is not somebody I've met before.
You have not met him yet. And it's because, I will tell you this, your energy field is shifting right now. And so it's shifting up, which means you're going to start attracting new people, places, experiences into your life over the course of the next few months. And new people appear because of the new experiences that are coming for you. So no, you haven't met them yet.
Does that mean I should kind of like take a break with dating? Does that mean I should keep dating?
I would say keep dating.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely keep dating. Keep building that momentum. But when you date, have fun. Instead of going on the date with, okay, am I going to like this person? Okay, kind of setting those expectations. Drop those and go on the date and just be you, have fun, and don't be attached to the outcomes. Okay. And you walk away from one date thinking, oh my gosh, that was really kind of terrible. And then you walk away from another being like, that wasn't that bad, but probably that's just a good friend. Maybe it's a new friend who opens some doors. So really see if you can just engage the dating as not an extracurricular activity, but you connecting with new people. So not searching for your person. It's a way for you to socialize, meet new people, connect, that doesn't feel like it has, extensive implications that tie you down.
That's good to know. And I will it will shift my way of thinking a little bit more. It's very helpful.
That's good. You're in a beautiful space. So remember, feeling fulfilled. When you feel fulfilled this year, when you find, yes, your satisfaction, but go deeper into, oh, that was a good week, or wow, that was a good day, or man, that was a really good piece of cheesecake. I don't care. However it comes, feel not only satisfied, but see where you can find fulfillment. So it can be in very superficial, day-to-day mundane things, or it can be in reading something, learning something, integrating and synthesizing information, networking. That can feel really fulfilling for you this year. And then also, where do you feel flexible? Where can you loosen up? Where can you just shift and change your mind and not beat yourself up about it, or get worried that somebody's going to be mad at you because you changed your mind and you're going to let them down? Really dropping that anxiety, because that's where your anxiety comes from. And of course, I'm going to go to this probably. It's people pleasing, which, hello, Libra, cornerstone of our energy, sometimes is the people pleasing thing. But also being able, there's one, setting boundaries when we say no or we change our mind or whatever it is, not walking away with the whiplash of the emotional stuff. And that's what I want you to notice this year, feeling guilty. Well, or even when you trust your voice of, I want to stay in tonight. And then, oh gosh, I'm here. Okay, I should have gone out. No, I chose to stay in. Let me relish in it. Let me put my pajamas on and watch TV and do a little work, whatever, because I know you're just going to do some work no matter what, because they're showing me that. I'm like, I would say to you, don't do any work on Friday night and really just binge watch something on Netflix and order a pizza. Like, just go crazy.
I need to be better about that. I'm working to do that a little. Each Friday gets a little bit more relaxed, so I'm trying.
What do you do exercise-wise? Like, when you go and exercise, what do you do?
I box, I lift weights, I like doing new things. I've been trying to find like new different types of exercises. I'm very active. I've done gymnastics. Just all over the place.
I know they're showing, yes, that you know that you have to move to get energy out of your body and off of your body. They're telling me for you to join a couple of classes like this year, so buy like a 5-pack of yoga classes or a 5-pack where it is not just you, like you are in a class. Okay. Where you are in that class, you feel like it's your hour, your 50 minutes, your hour of being in the class, being on the mat, or I've been like Pilates is my thing as of late, being on the reformer, 50 minutes and just being in my body. But they're saying something about like, get with classes. It's about putting yourself in new groups of people, and it's not about necessarily making friends, but it's putting you in different places and different energies. So it's almost like I want you to buy a 5-pack of yoga classes here and a 5-pack of Pilates there, because I know you, if you buy them, you'll do them. You're like, like if you buy them, you're like, I'm not going to waste that money. I'm going to go get that done. I can see it. Yeah.
Yep. Very much me.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why I'm almost like, okay, yes, 5 classes over here and 5 over here. But it's almost like I'm just they're having me put you in different environments strategically. It's not so much about the relationship as it is about shifting up your energy field a little bit. So just do that. Do it this summer.
Okay, that's what I've been trying to do. I was boxing for like 4 years, and I was like, I need a change. So it's interesting that they're like, okay, do it a little bit better than what you're doing already.
Yes, like just diversify a little bit and see what you like, and you'll get into something, because that's you. Once you're into it, you're into it. So you'll get into something, but it'll be a new community. It'll be a change of scenery, which can spark your creativity and spark your passions and desires and get those juices flowing, which have been kind of stagnated for a little bit.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So you feel inspired. It's about inspiring you through different modalities, different environments and energies. And also it opens the door to new friends, new relationships, all sorts of newness.
I've been feeling that. So I'm glad that they can confirm that I need to keep on the path. Sounds like I started a lot of these things they wanted me to do. I just didn't take them the full way they wanted me to.
Yeah. So just it's just follow your intuition and follow through on that and enjoy it. And again, that's something that you don't have to put any pressure on. You get to go do this because this is your time. This is you taking care of you, but it's also expanding you. It's expanding you in new communities. And even if you go on Friday night, I know we keep going back to Friday nights, but even if you say, okay, I'm going to this class on Friday night, and then I'm going to the grocery store, and then listen, I get a lot of joy in the simplicity of daily routine like that. Going to my exercise class, running to the grocery store, there's something grounded about that feels fluid. And they're showing me you have that same energy. Find fulfillment in that not necessarily in high highs, low lows, busy states, anxious states of being. Find your fulfillment and ease in your day-to-day, and more will be revealed.
Okay. I will definitely, I have some changes to shift and make, but I love it. This is great.
Good things. And it's healthy, exciting things. So.
Mm-hmm. And you have officially made me cry twice on a podcast, which normally I make everybody else cry trying to talk about their feelings. So I'm so glad somebody could do that to me.
The tables were turned. The tables were turned today. And they were good tears because they were just heart-opening tears of, this is like, I feel seen. Which is something that you crave, is feeling seen and safe in friendships, in work relationships, but also in intimate relationships, which all of that is developing this year and coming for you. I will tell you one thing about your 30s. This is just me saying this. For me, being in my 30s, I'm in my 40s now, but in my 30s, really getting clear on relationship and friendship and connection and what I not only wanted in relationships, but what was fulfilling for me from other people in relationships, and being able to know that and communicate that and nourish the relationships that showed up that way for me in my life. That was huge, and still is huge, but it's a process.
Yeah, it is a process. That's why you say it took all of your 30s. So
it did. It took all of my 30s, and I'm starting to feel better in it in my 40s. And now those relationships are more solid than ever, and I have trusting relationships like I've never had before, even in, very old family relationships that have come full circle and evolved, disappointing relationships where I didn't feel I have closure or understanding. All of that has started to evolve through a lot of work in my 30s around the give and take of relationships.
So I have to buckle up doubly, not only for the year, but for the decade, it sounds like.
For the decade, yes. We didn't know that we were going into the whole decade for this, but yes, buckle up for the decade.
Well,
but
thank
you
for
were a Libra.
Yeah, the Libra, man, that Libra energy. But thank you for just providing me with a lot of things that I needed, even just telling me and talking to me, because like you said, it's very hard for me to find that. So thank you for giving that.
Yeah. You bet. I really appreciate you coming on and being so open, and I love that your pets were making appearances with literally and with their voices, because they're just showing up cheering you on. They are cheering you on for your happiness. So, well, listen, have an amazing week, and thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Going places? Rome in style. Welcome to Rome Luggage, where your travel luggage transforms into a canvas for your unique style. Got the hint? Excellent. With Rome, you're the designer. Choose your colors and we will craft your bags with the finest materials in the world and assemble it in our U.S. workshop. Visit RomeLuggage.com today and get 10% off with the code ROME4U. Buy 2 or more pieces and get an additional 10% off. That's ROAM luggage.com.
Wish shopping just got even better with flat rate shipping, improved tracking, and faster delivery. Now shipping for all the eligible items in your Wish order is covered by one flat rate of $2.99. And delivery is 26% faster too. So get to it. Download the Wish app today.
Finding a good movie can be harder than finding a sitter on date night.
Your kids? Yeah, right.
Prime Video has you covered with the hit movies on Prime like Air and Creed 3. Plus, you can rent or buy the latest new releases like John Wick Chapter 4 in one easy place. Look at that. Now you have more time to watch. Prime Video, the one app to unite them all. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.